out here on the Big Blue today. We're doing a little bit of tuna fishing, albacore tuna fishing. I got Mike back there, who's our shop manager. It's the first time he's ever been out tuna fishing. Got my buddy Jack, and we got my buddy Jesse out here. But here's a really cool part about what we're doing today. We're fishing our new swim baits, okay? These are our 4.5-inch swim bait. Came out with some custom tuna colors. Right off the get-go, we were fish on, rocking and rolling. It's a really good start. First one that went down was our swim bait, which was absolutely awesome. And then we broke it off, so that's usually the way it goes. Anyways, guys, we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna listen to some real scream, and we're gonna bloody up this deck. Stay tuned. Keep reeling all the way down to that terminal tackle for me. Oh, missed him. There, we got him. Right in the tuna loin. That's how you gaff with one hand.
He wants to run some more.
You ever singing like that? They just don't quit, do they?
No, they're strong. For what? 15 pounds, 12 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a heck of a freaking gaff job, Jack.
Yeah, wasn't it though?
That was a great gaff job.
Glad you got that on film.
Lift that sucker up, Mike. Let me see it. Raise it nice and high.
That's a nice one, huh?
That's a nice one.
Where's that brace plate?
All right, guys, check it out. Out here tuna fishing with our swim baits. Are working great today. This one in particular, I don't got a name for it quite yet. We just made it up the other day in the shop, but we'll let you know definitely. We got it rigged on a 3-ounce jig head. What I'm gonna do when we go to our mono, I'm gonna tie a Rapala knot. The way you tie a Rapala knot, you tie a simple overhand knot where it creates a loop. Then you're gonna take your tag in and go through the eye of the jig head. And then you go back through that loop you created the same direction it came out. So it came out through the bottom, I'm gonna go from the bottom up. And this is where you get your loop size. I usually do about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. You're gonna wrap it about 4 times. Go from the bottom back through the loop you created, and then come through the main loop. So again, keep those lines apart. Go through the bottom, and then through the next loop. And this is where you're just gonna slowly cinch it down. You're gonna work this tag in, and the main leader, tag in, main leader, main line, excuse me, all the way down to where it gets cinched down just like so. The reason we use that Rapala knot on these swim baits, when we're trolling them, it allows those swim baits to have a full range of motion. When we're casting them, what happens is that your swim bait will not helicopter, because any line twist in your mono will not influence your swim bait as it would if it was direct tied to that eye. So we always go with a Rapala knot when we're fishing our swim baits out here for albacore tuna. Check it out. All right, let's send it again.
Level line, and you're trying to guide the goddamn thing. Oh, yeah. Got the shoulders on this. I hate to pull up too hard with that.
What are you talking about? Spike that sucker. Let's get a picture with you in the swim bait, buddy. We got a feisty one. You won't quit. Nobody spiked them. Only you guys did. All right, let me spike them one more time. Okay. Now that I've murdered that fish. What we want to do to keep our tuna cold, we want to take the guts out of the inside. So we're going to core them out. That way when we put them on ice, we're not wasting ice by cooling guts. All right, they go from here actually into the slush, then they go into the ice. But here's how we do it. Take that knife, you're going through the vent right here. Make an incision. Reach in there. There's a tube. All you do is pop that. Neck part's the tricky part. You come up here. Cut right across. Then at the top of the throat of you, well, you have where the gills come into almost the vertebrae area. Check that out, right in there. You could use scissors and cut that so it's free, just like so. And then you have the membrane that connects the gills to the flesh. Cut that on both sides. All the way up. All you do is reach in there, grab a handful of fun, pull everything out. Get rid of that. Now your tuna has an empty cavity, so when you put it in the slush, what happens, that water filters in and out and in and out as it's slushing around down there and cools the fish evenly, opposed from cooling the outside and then having a warm core. So that's where it's going next.
Is it a double?
No. Look at that tail go, man. Look at that tail go.
Fight, don't they?
Look at that gaff chop.
Nice one.
Lift that sucker up, Jack, the whole thing. There you go. All right, guys, just got done. Great day of tuna fishing. Couple mishaps on the gaff here, but that's okay. I was out with my buddy Jack and Mike and Jesse. We went over how we bleed and how we gut these out on the water. But now let's get into cleaning and loining these tuna. I always start from the bottom. Take your knife, come right up bottom, go all the way nice and thin through that belly. And there's a little bone right there you gotta get through. Okay, not too much left there. You can strip that out for bait if you want. Come to the top, we're gonna do the same thing from the bottom all the way to the back of the head. And again, there's a couple sets of fins in here. You gotta get through some bone. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right behind this pec fin and I'm gonna angle it forward. Right, we'll pass the skin there. And then I'm gonna come on this side and I'm gonna go just past the skin there. Flip it over, same thing. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the belly. Here's our belly piece right here. When you open up this fish, you see the cavity of the fish. The top of it's right there. What I'm gonna draw a line, I'm gonna do is draw a line from right here all the way to the slit we made to remove the guts. Just take your knife right at the top of it. I always get a feel for it. Like so. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other side. All the way to the top. There you go. Really nice chunk of belly. All right. Now what I want to do is remove the skin. So that slice we made that went all the way to the top, I just take my knife, give it a little slip, get me a little tag in there, run my finger down to that lateral line. I can grab a hold, pull that skin off, take my knife, I always slit the tail down here all the way down to the vertebrae. And then you can see this lateral line, it's a pretty thick blood line. It's probably got to be ½ inch thick in there. I'm going to make two cuts. One of them is going to be directly on one side, and I'm going to use that line as my guide. Go all the way down to where you hit the skeleton, the ribs. I can feel that knife kind of going across there like a piano. Now I'm going to take my knife directly on the other side here. Push all the way down, follow that line, use that line as your guide, all the way down. Good. Just like so. Now I can pull this open and I can start seeing the ribs in there. I can start seeing the skeletal system. The ribs on this come backwards. What I want to do is I want to take my knife, I'm going to do a little knife work here at the bottom, just cut it out. And I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to run them right along those rib bones against the grain of the ribs. Just like so. And you notice it starts peeling off naturally. You're going to get to the top where the meat's connected still at the very top here. Take my knife, lay it flat against the vertebrae, and slice out. Flat against the vertebrae, slice out. Flat against the vertebrae, slice out. All the way till you get to the top. And you have a really nice loin. Okay, that's your top loin. We're gonna do the same with the bottom. Make sure we're all the way down to the rib cage. Little knife work at the bottom because there's a bunch of ligaments down here that connect the tail. That's why they swim so stinking hard. Okay? And again, I'm gonna take my fingers, I'm gonna go against the grain of the rib, all the way up. It should pop through on the top. This bottom is gonna be still connected by this meat right here. So again, I'm gonna take my knife, flat against the rib cage, slice out. Slice out. Slice out. All right, and then that one should come out just like so. You're gonna have some ribs connected in there, that's fine, you could get all that cleaned up. Okay. So let's get to the loin. We're gonna leave that aside for right now. We have our bloodline that's gotta be removed. It's no good, it doesn't taste good, get rid of it. All right. You're gonna go nice and thin. Right along there. What I like to do at this point is I actually flip the tuna over, the loin over. Take my knife right along that again, nice and thin. Cut that out. And now pull that ligament right out of there, okay? That's great bait right there, save that. All right. Get this cleaned up a little bit more, get a little bit more of the bloodline off of there. This one right here has a little bloodshot. I got a little aggressive with the gaff, obviously. Right. So that's your belly loin right there. Okay, let's go to our top loin. Top loin, that time we didn't have a lot of bloodline in there, so this one's gonna be kind of easy. Just kind of shave it down. Make sure you let your knife do the work. Just slice, all you're doing is moving the knife. All right, get that cleaned off. That's a great piece right there. That's your top one, that's gonna be super, super lean. Goes there. We're gonna flip the fish over. We're gonna do the same exact thing to the other side. If you notice, there's still a bunch of extra flesh on here. All this stuff right here, it's connected to the bloodline. So for us, salmon fishermen, crabbers, whatever you want, that's a great piece of bait right there. So save that, vacuum pack those, get them ready to go. Here in a second though, we're not completely done. Once I get this other side done, we're actually gonna remove the collar from these albacore. The collars on these albacore are pretty dang tasty, just like any tuna. So let me get this out of the way. Do the top real quick, same thing. I always like leaving that head on when I'm doing it, so I got something to pull against, whether I'm slicing or pulling skin off. Against that grain. See how it rolls right off of there? And I'm gonna take the knife, go flat against the rib cage, slice out, slice out, slice out. Just like so. Got our top one. And do that again on the bottom. Make sure I'm all the way down. A little knife work down towards the tail. Again, go against the grain. Against the ribs, slice out, this out. Now, just like any fish, you're gonna have headache up here at the top because you have flesh connected to rib bones, okay? So you gotta just work your way through there, take your time. Anything you miss, you could slice through and pick at it with your knife and get it off of there. Now we've got our bottom loin. I'm gonna save those. I'll get the bloodlines out of those here in a second. What I want to do now is I want to take the collars and come here right behind the head, go up at an angle, like so. Other side. And that collar should come out now. Just like that. We'll clean that collar up. Just broil it, salt, pepper, garlic. Turned out absolutely amazing. And we got our collar meat. Again, you can take this carcass and you can pick at it. You have a lot of great bait in there. You still have some good quality tuna that you can. This belly right here, when I can it, I'll actually take a piece of belly meat and mix it in with the loin because there's so much fat in there. Alright, so you can pick at this as much as you want. And then the rest of the cart makes great crab bait. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. That is how we cark our tuna, get the loins off. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Fishing with my buddy Jack and my buddies out there Pacific Ocean for Albacore Tuna.